Hey gang, happy Thursday. It's Leanne here. I am going to tell you today how 5 specific benefits on why women over 30 should start strength training right away. Okay, so there's going to be 5 reasons why. So if you're a woman, if you're over 30, you want to take some notes, jot this down because this is all good stuff. But first, my backstory is in 1997, I joined Jenny Craig because, young and heartbreak, and I associated thinness with happiness and love. So I joined Jenny Craig, and basically in 7 months, I lost 45 pounds, and I ended up being on about a 600 to 800 calorie diet. Now, that's not where I started, but I am telling you the backstory because I want to share with how strength training actually saved me from a life of starvation dieting. So, at the time when I joined Jenny Craig, they did not want me to lift weights at all. Again, this was in 1997. I don't know how the program is now. I'm sure they've evolved and progressed and that it's totally different. But in 1997, my Jenny Craig counselor was very adamant that I not do any kind of strength or resistance training because we cared about the number on the scale. And being 5'3", we had a goal of 125 pounds. And that was the only focus, the weekly weigh-ins that eventually caused a lot of anxiety and stress and unhappiness and a lot of other different host of health issues, my period stopping, my hair falling out. But basically my life revolved for 7 months around the weekly weigh-in, and my day was dictated upon whether the weigh-in went well or not. And I became very obsessive about it, and so I realized that pee weighed 0.8 of a pound if I had a full bladder. So I made sure I peed before I did my weigh-in. I made sure I didn't eat before I did my Jenny Craig weigh-in. I made sure I worked out for at least 1 hour before my Jenny Craig weigh-in. I made sure I wore the same outfit every week before my Jenny Craig weigh-in. I made sure I took off my shoes, didn't wear any jewelry, didn't wear any accessories like a watch, took all of that off. But basically, my body was very resistant the last 10 pounds. But I was determined, I was obsessed, I was fixated, and I did whatever it took, which again, it was probably decreasing my calories to about 600 to 800 calories a day to lose that last 7 to 10 pounds. So I remember when I finally reached my goal, I was so happy, but I also was scared to death of where I would or how I would navigate the next part of my journey. I remember clearly they were trying to sign me up for a lifetime membership of Jenny Craig, and I was torn because I knew that the healthy part of my brain was joining the lifetime program would just keep on this cycle of unhappiness and mood ruled by scale weight and this unhealthy behavior with food and exercise. But I was also very fearful that, oh my God, do you hear my crazy animal? I was very fearful that if I didn't join, that I would gain all this weight back and I would be unlovable and unattractive and not worthy, and I was definitely scared of not re-enrolling. The major indication or the major point at that time, which is why I did not re-enroll in a lifetime membership, was purely price. I was in college at the time. I was a struggling college student paying my way through school, and that was my priority, and I just really couldn't afford it. For me at that time, it was a big chunk of money, and so that basically ruled the decision, was the price point. Like, I couldn't afford it, so I had to suck it up, and I just realized I had to figure it out by myself. Long story short, fast forward, I finally got the confidence to join a gym, and I remember I joined 24 Hour Fitness through a Manoa fair that 24 Hour Fitness had a booth at, and I met a really nice gal who made me feel really comfortable. I think her name was Lindsay, and she had a normal looking athletic body. She wasn't super skinny, but she had muscle and definition, and she was, I guess you could say, maybe kind of on the thicker or athletic side. And I just was listening to her talk to me, and so I bit the bullet. And at that time they offered every other day memberships. Every other day you could go to one club every other day. That was like their cheapest membership. And again, I was a struggling college student, so that's the gym I joined. Kapiolani 24 Hour Fitness. I could go Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, and I started there. And with that membership came 2 free sessions with a trainer to kind of teach you how to use the machines and whatnot. And that was the turning point for me, because that was my first exposure to strength training. My whole entire life I was not an active kid. My parents never put me in any sports, so I was a TV and video game kid, so I wasn't active. My parents didn't work out, so I wasn't exposed to any of that type of thing. So this, as a college student, was my first experience with like using machines and lifting. And I remember the trainer said, she was like, wow, you're really strong for a girl. And again, this was back in 97, right? Times have changed, but and so I thought, wow, that's kind of nice to hear that I'm good at something that has to do with fitness. And basically that was the end. I spent getting myself acquainted with strength training and lifting and taking cycling classes, which kicked my ass, and I was motivated. And I did end up realizing that I have a decent amount of strength. So that was a turning point, because then I was able to stop fixating on the number on the scale and the weight and start focusing on the amount of weight I was lifting. So then I started recording, exercises and recording your weight. So over the time period, I have had maybe over at least 20 years of lifting experience. So with that being said, as I pursued other endeavors throughout my fitness journey in terms of running marathons, ultra marathons, doing triathlon, half Ironmans, Ironman, I really am grateful for my strength background, because it has kept my body in decent shape in terms of my muscle strong, my bone density. If you're not familiar, I also have ulcerative colitis. I am now I have had to have surgery in 2015, so I have a permanent ostomy. And throughout that 10 year of being diagnosed with this autoimmune disease of my colon, I was on a ton of high dose prednisone steroids, infusions, Entyvio, Humira, Symphony, Remicade, Lialda. I tried everything. 10 years of constant trying to figure out how to put myself, with my doctors, into remission. But basically, I was on, at one point, 100 milligrams of prednisone. And if you're familiar with that, that stuff is gnarly, and it stopped working. But throughout it all, because I was on these hardcore meds, we always did bone density scans yearly, because steroids break down your bone density. And I was always able to hold on to my muscle mass and my bone density, and I credit that with strength training for long periods of time. So I'm here to tell you that if you're a woman over 30, there are set reasons why you should start strength training. And strength training doesn't necessarily mean you need to move weight, you need to lift an external weight. It means that you can do body weight, you can do resistance bands, you can use water jugs if you have it at home. But here are 5 reasons why women over 30 should start strength training. So the first one is, the more muscle mass you have, the more energy you burn. This is common. A more muscular person burns more calories at rest than a non-muscular person. And that's just because muscle is living and it requires energy, calories, food to be able to do the things, whether it's sitting on your couch or going for a walk. Second tip on why women over 30 should start strength training. You decrease your risk of osteoporosis. That kind of speaks back to the my experience with all these meds that would normally lessen bone density. Strength training has allowed me to keep my bone density at a decent level. So because muscle mass strength training increases bone density. The third reason, you lower your risk of heart disease and diabetes. So studies have shown that when you are lifting or strength training or trying to move your muscles, you can control your blood sugar by pulling the glucose. It pulls the glucose from the bloodstream and it uses it to power up those muscles. So you can use the glucose in your bloodstream, so it helps control those. Number 4 reason, you'll feel less pain. Common pains, neck pain, back pain, knee pain. Some of this, mostly this pain can be attributed to very real issues that your doctor has diagnosed you with, but sometimes everyday aches and pains are due to stiffness and just being sedentary. So lifting weights can help strengthen your joints, support your muscles, increase your strength, increase your power. So it just helps ease this kinds of everyday stiffness, aches and pains that you may not be experiencing now, but I can definitely tell you as someone in my 40s that it's very different than when I was in my 30s. So strength training definitely helps keep everything moving and mobile. They say like motion is lotion, lubrication for your joints to get you moving. Just like how you oil your car, strength training, exercise, movement is oiling your body, the machine. The 5th final reason is you'll just have more energy overall. You know, strength training boosts your mood, your mental mood, because exercise increases endorphins, your physical strength. When you lift something heavy and you're like, wow, I did it, that boosts your confidence, and it just overall increases your self-esteem. So it's something that I feel like everyone should dabble in a little bit, but I know it can be hard and it can be confusing and scary. So how do I get started? Everybody's like, Leon, it's so great, you're talking all this stuff, how do I get started? I'm so glad you asked. The exact reason, this is the exact reason, these reasons, in spending 10 years working with various women, I was compelled to create my 6-week lean muscle building program called Level Up. Now, what is this? This is a program for women who are 30 years old or older. This is a program for women who can commit to at least 3 times a week of their workouts. And this is a program that is focused specifically on lean muscle building. So what does that mean? That's fancy. It increases your strength. You'll lean out. You'll feel amazing, and you'll feel super strong. So it's taking our focus away from the scale. It's taking our focus away from body measurements, tape measurements, body fat, calipers. It's taking all that emphasis away, and it's very clear cut in terms of your workouts. You do the thing, you take your notes, you'll see the next workout you do, how your strength improves, take more notes. So this is a do-it-yourself program, but the amazing thing is it's customized. So I'm giving you customized Metcons, so workouts based upon your access. What do you have access to at home, wherever? Your ability, where are you now in terms of your fitness, and your availability. How much time do you have to devote? Like I said, this program requires a few things. You're 30 plus, you have 3 times a week. Now, studies have shown that if we want to focus on lean muscle building, we need to at least spend 3 times per week focusing on this very thing. But the great news is in my Level Up, it's 30 minutes or less workouts. So you are devoting yourself 3 times a week, 30 minutes or less for these lean muscle workouts. And this is not a cookie cutter program. This is customized. So once you enroll, you fill out my questionnaire, and then I create a customized workout based upon your answers. We use True Coach, a free application that you will sign up for, where you will get access to all of your workouts in calendar format with videos accompanying each workout, so there is no answers or questions left or stones unturned, however you say it. I am accessible 24/7 via email, text. I'm in the Honolulu, Hawaii time zone. So right now it's 8:57 a.m. and it is just gonna be an amazing 6 weeks. So each week I will also be providing bonus education, like content, either on IG Live, or you can access recordings when I post them after I go live for later. And the content will be dictated by what the group is struggling with or what the group is interested in. So I'm accepting 10 slots or 10 women for this program. I've already had 4 sign up, so I have 6 slots left. We are kicking this off on May 25th is when we start. So you have now until then to enroll. And again, 6 spots left. The link is in my bio on my main feed. If you have any questions about what kind of things do I need, like I said, you don't need any equipment. It's whatever you have access to right now in the present moment. All right? So have a great day. If you have any questions, please shoot them to me down here in the message. If you can help me promote this, that would be really awesome. You know, support small business for anyone you feel might be interested. I did have a gal gift a level up program to her best friend, so they're gonna do it together, and so it's gonna be amazing little small intimate group. And this is the lowest barrier to entry, gang, for you to work with a coach in terms of price point and customization. So if you are even thinking about it a little bit, just jump on the bandwagon, go to my link, register today, reserve your spot. And once you reserve your spot, you're gonna get a registration email from me really quick. And then we go from there. All right, hope to see ya in Level Up. Have a great day, guys. Bye. Aloha.